Magandang hapon sa ating mga manonood at masayang pagbati sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa ating edisyon ng UnionBank Talks Digital. Sana po ay ligtas kayo kung nasaan man kayong panig ngayon ng Pilipinas, mapabahay man, opisina o biyahe. Magkakasama na naman po tayo dito sa ating ngayong hapon para makapag-usap na naman po ang ating mga spesyal at mga importanteng solusyon na makakatulong sa inyo ngayong new normal. Ako po muli si Mo Soriano, proud banker sa umaga at sumasaylay naman DJ sa gabi. Ako po ang inyong lingkod ngayong hapon na ito. Bago tayo magsimula, gusto ko lang po magbigay ng special shoutout sa ating kaibigan na si ang ating Vice President na si Mr. Ron Batisan for having their first baby. So congratulations sa inyo and to the wife, and we hope that you are safe and with your family at this time. Balikan lang natin sandali ang naging kwentuhan natin nung nakaraang episode, kung saan nalaman natin kung gaano kadali magbayad ng SSS contribution gamit ang Union Bank online app. Nakapanayam din natin ng mga panauhin mula sa SSS na nagbahagi sa atin ng iba pang serbisyo ng ahensya na maaaring ma-avail online. Ngayong hapon, isa na namang usapin ang ating tatalakayin na tiyak na ikatutuwa ng mga manonood. Online tax payments po ba? Tama, yan po ang pag-uusapan natin kung bakit ang pagbabayad ng buwis ay digital na lamang para hindi na nyo na kailangang umalis ng bahay, bumiyahe at pumila at manatili kayong ligtas sa kahit anong pagsubok na meron po tayo sa ating buhay hinaharap. Pwede nilang bayaran ang inyong taxes with Union Bank Online para sa mga individual taxpayers at SME business banking naman para naman sa mga para naman sa mga negosyante or sa mga SMEs. Alright. So bago po natin simulan ng ating programa, kaunting paalala lamang. Pwede kayong sumali sa ating usapan. I-post lamang inyong mga tanong sa comment section dito sa Facebook channel natin at ating sasagutin yan sa dulo ng ating programa. Let's maintain a positive attitude and keep our minds open during this session. Let's refrain from using profanity and vulgar words from the comment section. Tayo po ay magmahalan lamang. Gaya po ng nakalipas na episodes natin, ang goal po namin dito sa UnionBank Talks Digital ay maibahagi sa inyo ang pinakamadaling paraan ng pagbabangko para makapaglaan kayo ng oras sa iba pang mahalagang gawain natin sa buhay. Napakasimple lamang. I-download niyo lamang po ang UnionBank Online sa App Store or Google Play Store pag Android ka naman, at pwede niyo ma-enjoy at iba't ibang banking features ng ating app tulad ng libreng fund transfers, mobile check deposit at yung topic natin ngayon, ang pagbabayad ng buwis. Okay. Kaisa po kami sa layunin ng BAR na maging madali para sa mamamayan ang pagbabayad ng buwis. At isa na nga rin po dito ang online tax payment gamit ang ating mobile phones. Mamaya po, ipapaliwanag sa atin ang iba't ibang uri ng tax din at ano pang pwedeng nating bayaran using our Union Bank online app facilities. Para lang po tayo nagbabayad kasi ng utilities or kuryente sa gamit ang ating online banking app. Pero paano nga ba ito gawin? Paano nga ba magbayad ng buwis, SSS, contributions gaya ng nakaraang episode at iba pang bills payment? Please tune into your screens right now. Ayan. Napakadali na lamang po talaga gamit ang teknolohiya. At speaking of mobile phones, dahil digital lang ating event, digital na rin malaman kung sino ang ating mga kasama ngayong hapon. Sumali po kayo sa aming usapan. Please tune into your screens again. Pakiscan po itong QR code na lalabas po ngayon. Ito po ang QR code natin po ang magiging basihan ng ating pag-uusapan ngayong hapon. Gusto namin din malaman ang inyong mga naiisip o inyong palagay sa ating poll question ngayong hapon na pag-uusapan natin pagkatapos ng ating panayam sa ating mga panauhin. So, okay? Ang tanong is, paano ka ba nagbabayad ng buwis o ng tax? Is it through employment ba? Employed ka ba ngayon? Pangalawa, over the counter or via the branches? Or nagbabayad ka through online banking? Ayan. Sa mga sumasali pa lang, pwede pa po kayong sumali po dito. Tapos before tayo umalis dito at magtungo sa susunod na part ng programa, may isa pa tayong special treat dahil kakatapos na ng trick or treat. Ika nga, we are giving away a Union Bank merchandise. Paano manalo ba? Simple lamang. Take note of these following steps ha. Okay ha. Kailangan nyo lang mag-post ng successful transaction gamit ang Union Bank online app sa comment section. Kailangan naka-cover ang transaction details like account number, name, and amount. Kasi syempre, we want to make sure that your privacy is protected all the time. At ang una magpadala ha, isa lang ha, ang una magpadala, siya ang mananalo ng Union Bank merchandise. Ayos ba? So, mamaya malalaman natin sa ating programa kung sino ang nanalo. Masaya po akong ipakilala sa inyo ang aming mga panauhin sa hapon na ito. Tiyak na makapagbibigay ng kaalaman at insight sa ating mga manonood. Bago ko po ipakilala ang mga susunod nating panauhin, please tune in to your screens right now and watch this video.
Some of us are writers, some are designers, doctors. We're professional hustlers, passion-fueled, purpose-filled dreamers. But we don't introduce ourselves as taxpayers because that doesn't say much about us, right? We pay taxes because we have to. It can be tedious, complicated, and confusing. 182 hours lost every year doing this convoluted chore. It's crazy. We get it. We've been there. That's why we created TaxSumo. TaxSumo makes taxes easier for self-employed professionals, freelancers, and solo entrepreneurs like you. No more mind-boggling computations to think about. No more complicated forms to fill up. No more long lines to pay your taxes. Just sign up, complete your profile, put in your income and expenses, then click a few buttons. Done. We remind you how much to pay, when to pay, and what forms you need to submit. You can pay taxes anywhere. You can pay your taxes online or at a convenience store nearby, at the mall, or on your vacation, anywhere, anytime. You can add all your other companies and pay for your business's taxes. You can even delegate your account to someone else so they can do all the filling up and clicking for you. All while you track everything wherever you may be. So go ahead, be a dreamer, be your best, focus more on your passion. We'll worry about your taxes.
Sa ating mga panauhi, sa ating mga nanonood, kinagagalak kong ipakilala ang ating mga kaibigan mula sa Team TaxSumo at mga kliyente din namin dito sa Union Bank. Sila po ang power couple behind the innovations that you have been seeing right now, and for those who want to pay their taxes, very smart and efficient. Natawag po natin si Ginoong EJ at si Binibining Ginger Arboleda. Hapong kay ganda sa inyo and welcome to the program.
Yan, hapong kay ganda mo. Thank you for having us and inviting us, no? And allowing us to talk to your audience.
Yan.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Yan. Of course, may kasama pa tayo sa ating kwentuhan ngayon. So, before ko ipakilala ang huli nating bahagi ng ating mga kakausapin ngayong hapon, please tune in again to your screens and watch this video. Ayan. Ang ating kaibigan mula sa transaction banking at ang ating Vice President mula sa Union Bank, si Miss Nicole Ranahao. Hapong kay ganda sa iyo, Rana.
Hapong kay ganda mo. Good afternoon, everyone.
Kamusta kayo mga kaibigan? Handa na ba kayo ngayong hapon?
Okay naman.
Ready
Kami ba?
na.
Alright.
Go lang, go.
EJ, Ginger, how long have you been partners na ba?
Nako, matagal na mo. Kasi ever since, no, I'd like to tell lang the audience na aside from Taksumo kasi, I had a small business before, which was Manila Workshop. So, ever since the time na Manila Workshops pa, no. So, mga 2013, since 2013. So, matagal na tayong partners.
7 years na, no? Sa loob ng 7 years, marami tayong natutunan sa bawat isa. Tama ba yun, Rana?
May ganun. Yeah.
Rana, baka pwede mo naman pakilala kung ano po ang kanilang katungkulan sa UnionBank.
Yeah. So, sabi nga ni Mo, I'm the disbursement head under Transaction Banking Center in UnionBank. So, as a transaction sa disbursements, we handle yung mga electronic fund transfers, check payments, and katulad itong mga government payments din.
I see. And speaking of government payments, mamaya nga po, paalala ko lang sa ating mga panauhin, pag may katanungan po kayo, type in lang po kayo sa ating comment section. At paalala po, huwag niyo pong kalimutan i-post ang inyong transaction po na gamit ang ating UnionBank online app para malaman kung sino mananalo mamaya. But make sure, safe po ang inyong details. Alright. Siguro maganda simulan natin ng usapan para ma-establish nga ba bakit tayo kailangan magbayad ng buwis. And alam ko, EJ, ko ang eksperto dito. Alam naman natin since time immemorial na importante ang buwis sa bawat sibilisasyon. For context, ano ba ulit ang dahilan at bakit kailangan natin magbayad nga ba ng buwis ang bawat mamayan ng Pilipino?
Okay, so there are two ways of answering that, no?
Okay.
The first thing is that, number one, yun yung lifeblood ng gobyerno. Basically, yung taxes that we pay, yan yung revenue nila that they then use to pave the roads, to fund public schools, etc. No? So for the government to provide those services, they use the taxes that we pay. On the flip side naman, if you are the taxpayer, what's the advantage to you? No? I think a lot of people don't realize na very important ang fact na may financial history ka, na may official financial history ka.
Oh.
No? Because later on, let's say you want to get a loan, di ba? Gusto mong bumili ng bahay, and you want to get a loan, normally, those institutions that will provide the loan will ask for documents that show your financial history. Magkano ba kinikita nito? Is this a person that we want to loan to? No? Hindi ka naman pwedeng gumawa lang sa bahay ng, ito yung kinikita ko, yan, sure yan, promise, Pexman. No? Walang meaning yan. Ang may meaning would be the official documentation provided by your tax returns. No? Kaya yun naman yung advantage of having tax returns, of why you want to pay your taxes is because you want to have that financial history.
I see. So, I guess para ma-laymanize lang natin para sa ating mga manonood. So, basically, kaya ka nagbabayad ng buwis para may revenue, basically. Kaya nga revenue generating to ng government. So, isipin na lang, tama ba na pwede natin to ihihalin tulad sa parang nagsusubscribe ka to Spotify or to Netflix na kaya ka nagsusubscribe kasi on their side of their company, kumikita sila ng revenue to create further innovations sa kanilang platform. Tama po ba?
Yes, exactly. No? So, instead of getting music sa Spotify when you're paying the government, you're getting a road. Parang ganun yung gusto mo isipin.
Yes. Tapos sa flip side naman, para sa mga individual naman na may nais nilang matupad ang kanilang pangarap na makakuha ng sasakyan o ng bahay, kailangan po ito as part of the documents, right? Alright.
Yes, exactly. Financial history.
Okay. Rana, how does this initiative align with the goals of the bank?
Tayo naman on our end. So, UnionBank is a bank. So, we do basic bank offerings like yung mga opening of accounts, having fund transfers, check issuances. Pero we want to provide a full suite of services. Kaya we also offer government payments tulad nga ng SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, at itong ang CBIR. So, it helps complete offering para we're a one-stop shop for all our clients. Tapos, dahil tayo sa UnionBank, we really promote digital initiatives. We welcome these types of initiatives ni BIR. Ito ang BIR e-payments. Actually, UnionBank ang kauna-unahang private bank and only private bank who have the BIR e-payment service. Ang mga kasama natin or other collecting agents are government banks, si Land Bank at DBP, at yung mga electronic money issuers tulad ni Paymaya at saka GCash. So itong BIR e-payments, napakalaking tulong talaga siya sa pag-improve or pag-streamline ng proseso ng pagbabayad ng buwis. Kasi dati-dati, pupunta yung tao sa branch, pipila, may hawak-hawak na hard copy na form na 3 copies pa ata yun. Magbibigay ng isang copy sa teller kasama ng pagbayad ng buwis. Tapos kailangan pa rin nilang mag-submit separately on their own. So itong e-payments, medyo dinigitize niya, wala nang papel. Lalagay mo lang yung amount, anong tax type, ano yung date. Tapos isasubmit mo na lang siya sa mga online banking platforms natin. And that would already be submitted to BIR together with the e-filing.
And if you may also share also, Rana, in that spirit, diba? That's the reason why we partner with entities or fintechs like Taxumo, because we also learn in the process as part of that ecosystem. Tama po ba?
Correct. Tsaka kasi, yun nga, si Taxumo handles the e-filing. We can do it with, the people can do it directly kay BIR, but for those who might not be masyadong savvy sa kung paano mag-pay ng taxes, it would really help services like Taxumo provide that guidance on how to pay the taxes properly. And then on our end, once they do give the forms, sa atin naman sila magbabayad para mabigay natin yung payment kay BIR. Tapos itong e-payments, it digitizes everything. So especially ngayong pandemic, hindi na nila kailangang lumabas ng bahay o ng opisina. Kaya na lang nila gawin basta may internet sila at may app or may website.
Napakasimple na nga lang talaga, no? But I guess for the benefit of our viewers, baka nahihilo na sila sa pinag-uusapan. Ano kaya itong mga buwis na to? So baka, Ginger, baka pwede mo kaming tulungan. Ano ba yung mga iba't ibang taxes na normal na binabayaran ng isang individual, employed, or ng isang negosyo? Yung mga yung common na kanilang binabayaran.
Sige, kasi normally kadalasan kasi pag employees tayo and most of us are more familiar with this, ang nagbabayad kasi ng taxes ng isang empleyado is the employer. So that's what you call substituted filing. Pero pag ikaw ay magtatayo na ng sarili mong negosyo or ikaw ay nagfe-freelance, or ikaw ay, let's say, professional like medical doctor, engineer, you have to pay your own taxes. So ganun kasi yung patakaran dito sa Pilipinas. So the first thing that you need to do is really register with the BIR. So you go to their branches, which you call the revenue district offices. So depende kung saan ka may business, saan yung residence mo or saan yung place of business mo, dun ka sa city na yon magre-register. Once you are registered, bibigyan ka nila ng Certificate of Registration or Form 2303. Dito sa form na to, makikita yung types of taxes that you need to pay. So naka-indicate doon tax types. So under that, makikita mo ano yung mga klase ng taxes na dapat mong bayaran as a business owner or professional. So under that, normally, since we're talking about the common types of taxes, we have what we call business taxes. Okay, so under business taxes, dalawang klase yan. So depende sa revenue or gross revenue per year. Okay, so yung gross revenue, ito yung kinikita mo, kabuuan ng kinikita mo sa isang taon. So, pag umabot siyang 3 million pataas, ikaw ay isang VAT entity or VAT business, So, that means ang babayaran natin are VAT, diba? So, pero pag below 3 million gross revenue or kita in a year, ikaw ay non-VAT entity. So, ang non-VAT entity or VAT entity, it's based on yung gross earnings or yung kita mo, kabuang kita mo sa isang taon. So, that is called, so yung dalawa, So, non-VAT, ang binabayaran naman nila is called percentage tax. So, it's either percentage tax or VAT. Okay, pero hindi lang yon. Ang pinaka-popular actually na tax na meron tayo is called income tax. So, I'm sure yung mga viewers natin have already heard of annual ITR or income tax return. So, kaya to sikat because ito yung binabayaran nating April 15, yung annual income tax, which is required normally for mga documents na sinabi ni EJ kanina na visa, HMO, loans, So this is a proof that you have filed your taxes. Pero contrary to what people know, na isang beses lang siya dahil nga napaka-popular ng April 15, hindi siya isang beses lang dinideclare or binabayad or fina-file sa BIR. It is filed quarterly. So every quarter, nag-file tayo ng ating annual income tax, which is pang-close ng taon, and quarterly income tax. So bawat quarter, you have 3 quarters and 1 annual. So ganun ang income tax. Another type of tax is called withheld taxes. So merong tinatawag na withholding tax agents. Ano ba tong mga withholding tax agents? Si BIR, sinasabi niya sa ibang companies na, for example, kunwari, Taxumo, pwede ka maging withholding tax agent. Ang ibig sabihin nun, si Taxumo ay nagwi-withhold ng mga bayad sa kanilang suppliers. So, may porsyento ng bayad nila na tinatabi at binabayad na kaagad sa BIR. At proof no na binayaran nila yung BIR, binibigyan nila ng isang form na tinatawag na 2307 ang kanilang mga suppliers na binabayaran. So, madalas nakikita natin to sa, let's say, financial advisors, 'di ba? Kunwari meron kang insurance company that you are a part of, they remit, they give you commissions pero they deduct a certain percentage. Pwede rin yan sa mga ad agencies. Depende talaga eh. So, may mga iba't ibang kumpanya talaga na sinasabi ng BIR na, company, mag-withhold ka para sa amin. So, this is similar also to withholding naman for compensation para sa mga empleyado. So, nagwi-withhold din yung employer, di ba? Yung kaninang sinabi ko, nagwi-withhold din sila for their employees. So, which is withheld taxes naman for compensation. Yung kanina, withheld taxes expanded or tinatawag nilang OTH, others, no? So, yun yung madalas na, yun yung mga karaniwang binabayaran nating taxes as business owners and professionals.
I see. And these are, while common ito, and we know for a fact na based dun sa current roster ng taxes that are being paid right now, napakarami nito. Especially sa website ng BIR. But I guess, baka for some clarity, bakit nga ba ganito ang setup? Baka si EJ may ma-share siya sa atin. Bakit nga ba ganito ang setup ng ating tax codes at para saan nga ba't napaka-stringent nga na bawat isa?
All right. So, syempre, nag-grow na ito from what it originally was, no? One of the things that is, I think, notable or dapat nating alam about taxes in the Philippines is that taxes are self-reported. Unfortunately, unlike other countries wherein the government sends you a bill, no, may ganon, di ba? Kung may ganon, edi andali. Unfortunately, yung taxes natin, tayo yung nagre-report. Imaginein mo, let's say, when you pay, let's say, Meralco, ikaw magko-compute ng generation charge, ikaw magko-compute ng transfer loss, etc., etc. Tapos pagka-compute mo nun, ikaw magbabayad sa Meralco. Tapos pag mali ka, idedemanda ka. Yun yung situation ng taxes natin dito sa Philippines. And that is the challenge. No? And a lot of people, they think taxes is just once a year. Yung mga common misconceptions na yan, once a year lang siya. So a lot of them normally, when they go na to the BIR and they want to get something, they realize, ay shoot, ang dami palang kailangan kong final na hindi ko final, puro penalty na yan. No? So yun yung situation of the Philippines, and that is like how it's set up right now in the country.
Okay. I see. And now that it's clear kung ano ba yung, bakit nga ba tayo maraming taxes na binabayaran at kung bakit nga ba naging ganun ang konteksto nito especially in the Philippines, I guess for the benefit of our viewers, paano nga ba mag-file nito, Ginger? Kasi baka maaari mong i-share yung steps, especially back in the day. Kasi baka may sinasabi, ang dami-daming tax, especially for viewers na first time, gusto na yung professionals ng kanilang sarili. At medyo nalilito sila. Baka pwede mong ikwento ano yung naging experience mo during that process.
Sige mo. Kasi yung business ko, yung Manila Workshops, it started even before the train law. Diba? Nagkaroon ng train law noong 2018. So before the train law, a typical business owner like us, no, lalo na yung mga micro and small, we would pay 16 forms in a year. 16 forms because before we used to pay percentage taxes on a monthly basis, and then you have 4 quarterly income tax forms that you needed to file, diba? Plus, obviously, yung yearly renewal, which I forgot pala to mention, no? Kasi every year, we also pay that registration fee to the BIR just to tell BIR, hi, buhay pa ako, so nandito pa ako at nagbabayad ng taxes. So yun yung registration fee, no? So before, ang ginagawa talaga ng typical business owner, tama si Rana kanina, she mentioned 2 steps, no? Filing and payment. So let's talk about how I did filing before. I would download a packet, no, sort of a software, a program from BIR called eBIR Forms. And then it's in my computer, although it had to run in specific computers, no? Hindi siya like pwede sa Mac computer. So may specific computers lang siya na pwedeng tumakbo. And then once I download that, I give my receipts on a regular basis. Pinapadala ko siya sa accountant ko. And then yung accountant ko will, it's with me and I encode it pala to an Excel sheet. I give that to my accountant. Accountant ko computes because wala naman ako background sa accounting talaga. So they had to compute and then they give it back to me in a form type that I need to copy dun sa eBIR form. So kakopy ko siya. Pero malalaman ko nga lang itong kailangan kong bayaran pag pinadala yung form, which is normally like 2 or 3 days before the deadline. Only to find out, wala akong pera pambayad ng taxes. So I would normally skip ang dami kong penalties before kasi sabihin nila 50,000, naku, saan ako kukuha, di ba, ng amount na yon? 3 days na lang before the deadline. So yon. So, but yung normal process, assuming I have the cash, no, to pay for it. So, I copy it in eBIR forms kasi hindi ko naman naiintindihan yung mga fields na nandun. So, I copy it. Tama si Rana, I print out 3 copies. And then, I will wait for the BIR confirmation that is sent via email. So, I print that out as well. And then, I go to the authorized agent bank within the city, no? So, that's why ang UnionBank may over-the-counter, diba? So, doon ko binibigay and then tinatatakan and then I keep a copy. So, pero ang dami kong penalties before mo because I would fail to realize na pag attachment as well, iba pa palang system yon. Kasi I would get 2307 forms from my clients, diba? So kailangan pala isasubmit mo rin siya through another system, yung alpha list system ng BIR, wherein encode mo pa ulit yon one by one, and then you download that file, and then you submit it via email sa BIR, and then you wait for that, and then i-attach mo rin dun sa sinabit, yung sasabit mo sa bank. So, ganun pala yon. Pag hindi mo pala final yung attachment, you're sort of paying also the penalties. It's as considered as hindi ka nag-file ng actual filing mo. So, yung mga ganong intricacies. And then, hindi ko rin alam na kailangan ko palang mag-update ng books of accounts ko. So when you register, binibigyan ka ng manual ledgers. Yung books talaga, yung columnar booklets, tinatatakan yun ng BIR. So kailangan ko palang i-update yun. So for the longest time, parang a couple of years, hindi ako nakapag-update ng books kasi hindi ko rin alam and hindi ako nasabihan. So I had to pay penalties for that as well. So ang daming kong penalties before. That's why it was always a cause of stress, no? Aside from it being a long process, a tedious process, there were a lot of manual processes as well.
I see. And I think I like to take a step back from that insight that you were able to share, Ginger. Basically, there are 2 categories. One is filing. Actually, based on your discussion, there are 3 parts. There's pre-filing, filing, and payment. Okay. So, dun sa pre-filing, correct me if I'm wrong. So, pre-filing, you need to basically prepare all documents. Lahat ng attachments because that's where you incur penalties. And you make sure that they are properly labeled accordingly. Then second, the third, before you pre-file, you need to download the eBIR software. Now, and I think important to sa ating mga viewers, especially for areas and for individuals and business owners who might be savvy in their minds already, but in actuality, hindi pa sila ready for that or hindi pa sila knowledgeable. So I guess that's a different step pa. Then once you're ready that's 3 steps. So for the next step is once you download it and set it up, tapos you fill in the details, then you wait. Then once you wait, you see the amount, saka ka pupunta sa branch para magbayad, tama po ba? Tapos
Yes.
once you go to the branch, kamusta ang experience mo naman pag nagbabayad ka ng ano? So kasi that's the 7th one, that's the last mile na. Kamusta ang
Yes.
experience pagdating sa branch?
To be honest, no mo, whichever bank then I would pay before, no, pila talaga, lalo na pag deadline, no. So, hindi mo rin masasabi, hindi mo rin masisisi because syempre lahat ng people want to maximize their money and they want to pay right before the deadline, 'di ba? Kasi syempre they earn interest on their cash, 'di ba? Lalo na pag business owner, every day counts sa atin. That's why
Yes.
penalties are a big thing, interest is also a big thing, 'di ba? So talagang puno siya, mo. So may mga messengers, meron din mga accountants who are filing, no, na marami pa, usually bulto-bulto pa. Tapos yung mga individual business owners, hihintayin mo sila matapos kasi mas marami yung kailangan nilang i-file. So talagang pila talaga.
On the average, how long is the waiting time?
Nako, kinakain yung buong morning ko. At maaga ako ha, normally pag deadline, nandun na ako an hour before mag-open ang bangko. To be
So-
honest, pumipila akong 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock bumubukas yung bangko, 9 to 12 nasa bank ako. So one
Wow,
of the
3
first
hours.
one of the first few customers talaga ako, all the time. So ganun yung
Wow.
gawi ko before.
Okay. So after nun, so that's the 7. The 8th step is you wait at least 3 hours to pay for your taxes or your dues. And the 9th step is basically once you've paid it, babalik ka pa sa sa BIR RDO mo o i-upload mo na siya sa EBIR.
Hindi naman na. You keep that document already. So
That's done.
tapos ka na sa process mo. Yes.
Tapos ka na. So 8 steps. 8 steps ang ginagawa mo. Nako, sa ating mga manonood, interested ako malaman na baka pwede mo sa aming i-share ilan din ang steps niyo para makapagbayad kayo ng buwis. Kasi magandang pag-usapan kasi 8 steps mga kababayan para lang magbayad pero siguro atasa tayo ng konti pa. Paano yung mga taong hindi nila alam na may EBIR forms pala? Kasi this is just around around 2018 na introduce si EBIR, right? So paano yung mga individuals na ano yung proseso nila? Pupunta pa muna sila sa RDO nila para malaman kung ano yung babayaran na? Is it that way pa rin ba?
Well, Mo, before 2018, may EBIR forms naman na. So, okay naman. I mean, ganun pa rin. It's the same process even before, no? Just wanted to add, no? Sabi mo, interesting kasi yung steps. Meron ding report si PwC on the number of hours spent on taxes, no? Or yung steps na sinabi mo, filing,
Pre-filing, and payment.
no? So, may report sila that says that we take 182 hours a year just for taxes, just for preparation, filing and payment of taxes.
Yan. Sana sa ating mga viewers ngayon, paki-comment, ano yung ilang steps ang tinitake nyo para makapagbayad ng buwis? Rana, ang hirap pala. Sa atin ba, do we accept filing or payments lang ba?
No, sa atin, we wait for the taxpayer to do the first part, to do the filing directly nga through BIR, through the BIR form package na in-explain kayo ni Ginger. Or pag gumagamit sila ng mga e-tax service providers tulad ng Taxumo para mag-file ng buwis. Tapos tayo, once na-file na nila, yung amount na nakuha nila dun sa form, yun yung babayaran naman nila sa branch before or ngayon nga dun sa e-payments, yun na yung babayaran nila sa app. So available naman sa atin sa UnionBank Online, sa SME Banking, and even sa the portal for our corporates. And yun lang, kumbaga, payment leg lang yung atin. Tapos kung ano yung binayad sa atin, binibigay natin kay BIR as proof of payment na nagbayad itong kumpanyang ito. Tapos ima-match nila dun sa e-filing naman na ginawa nung taxpayer.
So, ibig sabihin, Rana, yung last mile, yung which is yung payment, number 1, hindi nila kailangan pumunta sa branch.
Yes.
Number 2, hindi na nila kailangan mag-antay ng 3 oras.
Correct.
Kasi number 3, babayaran mo na siya through the app.
So, yun.
Wow.
Actually, hindi ka na kailangan tumayo. Mag-login ka lang. Kung yung phone mo may mga thumb na pag-login or yung mga face na nade-detect, pagka-login mo, pipiliin mo lang bills payment tapos pwede ka na magbayad.
So kahit ano pala, kahit di ka pa naghihilamos nito, di ka pa nagsisipilyo, pwede mong gawin siya anytime.
Anytime. Hindi ka rin kailangan malimit dun sa branch banking hours. Pwede siya sa umaga, sa gabi, sa midnight. Basta pag alam mo na kung magkano kailangan bayaran, isasubmit mo na lang siya.
Paano nga ba gawin to sa atin? Baka pwede mong i-share sa amin kung gaano ba kadali magbayad ng taxes sa atin.
Yeah, so on our end, yun nga, meron kasi tayong, what do you call this, UB Online for individuals na merong app or website. Meron tayong SME, business banking, for SMEs. And even our large corporates, merong the portal. Lahat yon pag open mo lang ng website or ng app, hahanapin mo lang bills payment. Tapos pagka-click mo ng bills payment, hahanapin mo lang Bureau of Internal Revenue. Hindi mo na siya kailangan i-register or i-enroll. It will be readily available as part of the biller list. Tapos pag open ng BIR, lalabas yung mga required fields na kung ano yung nasa form mo, like yung tax type, covered period, amount. Tapos isasubmit mo lang siya for payment. Ide-debit yung account mo, tapos tayo sa Union Bank, binibigyan na natin yung reports, tsaka yung remittance ng amount, diretso kay BIR.
I see. Napakadali na lang pala talaga, no? And I guess for the benefit of our viewers, kami na po yung taya sa third leg niyo po ng inyong proseso pagdating sa pagbabayad ng buwis. But I guess ang important siguro dito, Rana, bakit nga ba natin inimbitahan dito si Lataksumo, no? Kasi kanina pa natin sila tinatanong ano ba iba yung mga iba't ibang buwis. Pero for quite some time, I know people already have heard what this is all about. Pero paano nga ba nagsimula, EJ, ang Taksumo? Hindi ko natanong kanina yun eh.
Ayan, sige. So, yung Taksumo, as Ginger said, no, kasi that was her business, yung Manila workshops. And yun nga, every month, mainit ulo niya, inaaway niya ako. Hindi ko alam bakit, no? Akala niyo kasi, babae. Pero hindi gano'n, no? Yung pala, nung tinanong ko, kasi inaayos niya yung taxes niya. May mga times before na yung service provider that she got, yung pala, tinakbuhan siya. Or biglang nawala. Or sometimes may mga stamp ko yung form tapos malalaman namin fake pala yung stamp. May mga ganung nangyayari, no, na unfortunately is a reality. So what she opted for was, sige, I'm gonna do it myself. Kasi what people don't realize is that when when it comes to taxes, you can outsource the work but you cannot outsource the risk or the liability. Pag may mali dyan, hindi yung service provider mo yung lagot, ikaw ang lagot, no? So as much as possible, you really need to know how to do that. So that's what Ginger chose to do. So inayos niya yung sarili niyang taxes. Pero yun nga, it was a very stressful, ubos oras, napapabayaan niya na actually yung business niya. At parang siyang empleyado ng BIR. Parang ganun yung labas, no? So ang nangyari was, yun nga, I looked at what she was doing and I made something for her na nagra-run lang sa computer niya. And yun, it worked. It helped her a lot and she was able to focus again on her business. And we thought, hey, this benefit that nagawa natin for your business, this is probably something that we can also offer to other business owners. So that's what we did. No, we scaled it up. We turned it into a platform. And now it's available for anyone to use. Signing up is free.
I see. And I guess for shout out din sa mga mister kagaya ni EJ na who takes the passion and their challenges from their beautiful wife. So saludo sa iyo, EJ, ang mga mister na gaya mo.
Oo, so
But
Taksumo saved our marriage.
I guess ang pinaka-importante dito is that we've talked about the three categories and your expertise is essentially the first two. And the first two, which is the pre-filing and the actual filing. So paano nyo ba tinutulungan ang ating mga kababayan para magbayad ng buwis?
All right, so it's very simple, no? Because when you are filing actually through Taksumo, all you have to do is you have to enter your income and expenses. Yun na yung pinaka-complicated thing that you have to do. Siguro naman marunong ka mag-determine kung magkano yung natanggap mo. Siguro naman alam mo magkano binayad mo, di ba? So it's very easy, no? Yun na lang yung gagawin mo. And then Taksumo na bahala mag-translate ng information na yun into the forms. Those forms, we fill those out automatically for you as the user, no? Aside from that, yung nabanggit ni Ginger na attachments, kung may attachments na kailangan, automatic, we also send those attachments as well. And of course, we partnered with UnionBank to provide the payment service also, no? So that is also something that they can avail of on Taksumo, primarily because of our partnership with UnionBank.
I see. And para sa ating mga viewers, so kung may challenges kayo sa pag-filing at may gusto niyo naman maintindihan kung ano ba yung paano nga ba efficiently mag-file ng taxes niyo, saan sila pupunta, EJ?
Punta lang sila sa www.taksumo.com. sign up lang kayo, paglaruan nyo, sirain nyo. Hindi nyo masisira yan, huwag kayong mag-alala. So paglaruan nyo, tingnan nyo if it works for you.
Tapos naman, Rana, ang gagawin naman ng ating mga customers na gusto magbayad ng kanilang buwis, anong kanilang kailangan gawin?
So they have to download the app kung wala pa. Kung meron na, just open the app. Yun nga, choose bills payment, enter the details, and submit. For those actually na wala pang account, si UnionBank Online actually has a selfie digital account opening feature na what you do, parang kukuha ng selfie sa phone, pipicturean mo ID mo, type ka lang ng onting personal details, and ayun, may account ka na. So pag meron ka ng account, pwede mo na ma-enjoy all these banking functions like fund transfers, etc. And bills payment, yun nga, yung government payments for BIR.
Ayan. So sa ating mga manonood, ulitin ko lamang, if you have questions or you need help basically to file your taxes, all you have to do is visit www.taxsumo.com. It's a web-based solution and service for you. And if you need to pay your taxes or e-payments via UnionBank, all you have to do is download UnionBank online app via Google Play Store if you're using Android, or App Store if you're using iOS, if you're an iOS user. And on top of that, pwede nyo pong bayaran ang subscription fees nyo kay Taxsumo through us also kasi nasa bills payment din namin siya. So napakadali lamang ng ganitong sistema, end-to-end process po, nakakonect po kami sa bawat isa. So I guess ang tanong ko na lamang siguro, Ginger, for us successful business owners, this is just kumbaga customer facing. We want to understand, how does UnionBank help our facilities help businesses like you?
Nako, maraming tulong talagang UnionBank, no? So aside from this partnership that we have, no, we also are in Global Linker. I think pinakita kanina, may pinakita kayong QR, no? We are there. We readily also kasi talk to our customers doon. So nasa offers page kami sa Taxsumo, no? So meron kaming services apart from just this, no, just the system. We also have business registration services na nandyan sa Global Linker. Also, for day-to-day operations, we're using Portal actually, no? So we pay our employees there. Our suppliers also have UnionBank accounts, and for those na wala, it's very convenient for us because kahit na wala sila account sa UnionBank, we use InstaPay, and alam ko walang fees, no, yung UnionBank until December. So libre. So yun yung ginagawa namin ngayon. We use our UnionBank account and the portal for any transaction.
And it's nice to hear that we are two things. We are at the service of the Filipinos, and we're making sure that your lives as business owners are also streamlined and efficient. Rana, baka I guess to talk more about our partnership with Taxsumo and BIR, how are these collaborations important for us in the bank?
Yeah, actually, it's really very helpful kasi nga tayo, UnionBank, we really push for all these digital initiatives kasi we want to make it easier for everyone to do banking, or yung hindi nga maging, kasi normally pag pupunta ka sa bangko, chore siya eh. Kumbaga, isinisingit mo siya tapos ma-aaksa yung oras mo na ginagawa yun. So, tayo, at least we wanted to make it seamless in our day-to-day lives na, ay, may kailangan akong gawin, kailangan akong bayaran. Sige, bills payment lang ako. Or, ay, kailangan ko magpadala ng pera dun sa nanay ko. Fund transfer lang ako, InstaPay, PesoNet, things like that, no? So, these initiatives, like Taxsumo, further encourage digital payments kasi pinapadali nga nila yung pagbayad ng buwis. Pati yung initiative ni BIR of e-payments, it fully transformed how we can pay our taxes. So it helps promote yung pag-tech up natin ng Pilipinas. Tsaka syempre, financial inclusion. Kasi before, baka hindi comfortable yung ordinary Filipino to do any kinds of online banking, kailangan nila magbayad ng buwis. And alam naman nila yung mga obligasyon nila. So parang, sige na nga, try na nga natin to. And it opens the door for other services. Kumbaga, pag komportable na sila mag-government payments, baka pwede na sila mag-fund transfer, mag-buy ng load sa app or things like that.
I see. And maybe to take it a step back further, Rans, and we know for a fact that the journey has been really steep. A lot of learnings along the way. Paano pa nagsimula yung pagsasama natin with BIR?
Actually, we've been an authorized agent bank of BIR ever since. So yun nga, we want to provide a full suite of services. So we've been accepting BIR payments or BIR government payments through over-the-counter mostly. Now, because BIR actually launched e-payments last year, we took the initiative and really offered it in all our platforms. Minention ko nga kanina, meron siya for individuals nga sa UnionBank Online, sa SME banking, and sa the portal for corporates. Kasi we wanted to maximize that innovation that BIR had. And actually, ang maganda sa kanila, they're not parang stuck in the past na, hindi, kailangan yung bayad ng buwis, tiisin nyo kung paano yung usual way of doing it. They're also very looking for ways to improve the tax collection service. So alam ko they do, I don't know if you've heard about the BIR Hackatax. So they even encourage startups and fintechs to help them figure out how to do e-filing or how to create that payment platform for them a lot easier. So these types of initiatives, medyo in line yung goal ng bank sa goal ngayon ng BIR. So andito lang ang BIR para ang Union Bank para sumuporta din sa mga initiatives nila moving forward.
And you can agree to me by saying na if hindi nag-lead ang BIR, this types of partnerships, this type of solutions won't be even available, right?
Yes. So actually, that's their initiative, yung e-payments. Kaya nga, si Land Bank, DBP, na-require din nilang sumama. And tayo, as one of the forward-looking banks, really hopped onto it together with the EMIs nga, like GCash and Paymaya.
I see. And I know that you've mentioned briefly earlier how do clients or our customers who are watching right now how to pay their taxes. Baka you can walk us through once more.
Sige. So, actually, maganda lang, meron lang akong konting slides para lang ma-imagine yun. No? So, kunwari, yan yung app sa individuals. Mag-login lang. Pagka-login, hahanapin mo lang bills payment. Dun sa bills payment tab, type mo lang BIR. Yun nga, it's readily available, hindi kailangan enroll, and it's 100% free. So wala kang hesitation na susubukan ko ba to or hindi kasi wala namang cost eh. So, di ba, might as well try it out. And then once you enter your tax details, submit mo lang, and then it's already paid. Bibigyan natin kay BIR yung reports and yung amount.
Ayan na, para sa ating mga manonood, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, promise namin, sagot na namin yung 3 categories yung kanina. Kaya na si Taksumo para sa pagdating sa pre-filing at filing nyo. Kami naman pagdating sa payment nyo, which is the last mile. I guess the last question I have for you, Rana, I know that we still have a lot to talk about at kulang ang oras natin. Sino bang maaari magbayad sa atin?
Again, everyone. So we have for individuals, UnionBank Online, for SMEs, the SME business banking, and for corporates, the portal. So even actually sa EFPS, normally yung mga large taxpayers, they use EFPS. But pag merong mga issues sa EFPS, they can also use the portal as a backup in coordination, syempre, with BIR. So, kumbaga, it offers them multiple platforms to do the payments as well.
I see. And I guess for EJ and Ginger, may I also ask the question, sino ba ang pwedeng humingi ng saklolo sa www.taksumo.com?
Oh yes. So anyone also. So if as long as you are paying taxes, or if you have questions on taxes, which we get a lot, no? A lot of people when they think about taxes, ano ba yung first question that I should ask? That's a very common feeling. If you have that feeling, don't worry, tao ka lang. Okay lang yan. Just ask us, no? If you go to www.taksumo.com, we have that little chat button on the bottom right. Just click there. And you can ask any of our customer representatives. They'll be there online from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight, and they can help you get used to ano ba talaga in taxes, how does it work, etc. There you go.
All right. And I guess napakarami pa sigurong tanong sa ating mga viewers sa ating comment section. But before we proceed to that portion, I guess gusto kong kamustahin kayong lahat. Kamusta naging epekto nito sa pandemya, lalo na sa negosyo nyo, particularly sa inyo, EJ and Ginger?
I think one of the things that we created a new product. Siguro later EJ can mention like how business has been. But I want to stress this, meron kami new product called Taksumo Lifeline because napansin namin, Mo and Rana, that there are a lot of businesses who are dormant. Before I forget, no, yun, maraming dormant ngayon, maraming nag-stop ng operations nila, but don't
Yes.
necessarily want to close yet their business, no? Kasi they're still waiting and like fixing plans. But then, alam nga natin, di ba, na even if you stop your business, you have to file taxes, di ba? So, kahit na zero yan, you need to file because if you don't, if you skip, you pay the penalties. So, we created a product called Taxumo Lifeline, wherein you just automatically tick what taxes you need to file, and the system runs accordingly and files for you. Basically, set and forget na siya. So, ganun siya. So, tuloy-tuloy lang yung pagfa-file ng business owner. So, you want to add to that, EJ?
Yeah, and siguro just to answer most question more specifically, no, the effect of the pandemic was actually we saw a 500% increase in our monthly sign up versus the previous year. So it's huge, no. A lot of people are now open to digital. A lot of people are realizing that it's a better option. Yung nakagawian natin na gusto kasi natin sa branch para may stamp. Guys, alam nyo ba na ang daling pikiin ng stamp? Promise,
Oh.
ang dami naming nakita na peke ang stamp, okay? So, ang totoo, ang sure is if you do it yourself. For example, if you use your UnionBank account, if you pay online, you will have that transaction record. Sure ka na nabayaran yun, no? So I think that's the big effect, no? Another thing that we did notice is that even though our signups increased, we noticed that our users, 70% of them started, they reported lower income during the quarantine period, no? Which is understandable. I mean, it's predictable na yun talaga yung mangyayari. Which is why, at the end of the day kasi, Taxumo is driven by a mission. And that mission is we want to help SMEs become successful. A lot of people don't realize that, akala nila, the form lang, yung form na dinownload nyo, akala nyo forever na yan. Hindi. Nag-iiba yan. Every month, halos nag-iiba yan. Ano? So talagang dapat updated din kayo sa mga revenue regulations ng BIR. So yung nabanggit ni Ginger na product na Taxumo Lifeline, they're for users, yun nga, na walang income and expense. And what happens is, automatic naming fina-file, and since we're working with the BIR, we update all of those forms directly sa back-end. So ikaw, wala ka na talaga inaalala, laging updated yan for you as a business that is dormant. And I just want to call out that product was actually made mainly because of the generosity of Australian Aid, the PhilDev Foundation, and UNDP. No, so we partnered with them as a social enterprise, and we thought that this is a product that SMEs really need right now.
Keyword talaga is partnerships this afternoon. And we're happy that despite the challenges, your business is thriving in this period. But I guess, Rana, to wrap up this conversation, kamusta ang negosyo sa atin?
Sa atin naman, ever since ECQ started, talagang our digital banking customers increased by tenfold. Mainly because, syempre, the people were forced, I guess, out of their comfort zone. Kung dati, kailangan na mayroon akong babayaran, kailangan cheque harapan para kampante ko because of social distancing measures, yung mga restrictions sa paglabas, no? We were forced to adapt and to do things online. So, talagang nag-shoot up yung digital banking transactions din natin. And it's really because of the convenience that it provides, no? So it's good for us, but we also try to beef up yung mga offerings natin kasi hindi rin naman, dahil nga hindi na pwede pumunta sa branch, mas maganda na dagdagan natin yung mga services na available sa mga app, like yung mga check deposit, etc. And we also make it easy, and parang binabawasan natin yung barriers to transacting. Kaya nga na-mention ni Ginger kanina, we announced free InstaPay until December 31 para mais lalo or mawalan ng restrictions yung mga tao na ay parang ayoko magbayad, sayang yung pera kasi libre naman. So try mo, 10 ka ng piso, ay dumating, okay. Mas maluwag na yung loob ko. Confident ako makakarating sa kabilang tao. So ngayon, bibigay ko na 10,000 or what. Diba? So it helps practice and push on digital transformation.
Right. So, and that's really happy to hear from you, Rana, kasi importante nga yung mission natin na to help bring our customers, number one, safe, and number two, cross the barriers, ika nga, at make everyone thrive in the new normal. I guess napakakulang ang oras natin para pag-usapan ng madaming bagay ngayong hapon. And I'm sure excited ang ating mga guest na nanonood sa ating Facebook channel para tanungin kayo kasi may mga lineup of questions sila. But before we proceed to that, remind ko lamang po dahil medyo mahigpit daw yata ang laban, paalala ko lang laman ng ating promo para doon sa mga nanonood ngayon. All you have to do is post your successful transactions or one successful transaction sa ating comment section. At make sure paki-mask po yung mga important details because you want to make sure that your details are confidential and safe, and you will win a Union Bank merchandise. And all right, before we proceed to our Q&A portion, maraming salamat sa inyong oras. But let's tune into our screens and watch the results of our poll. Pag-usapan natin kung anong resulta. All right. So para sa mga nag-participate sa ating mga viewers this afternoon, ang pulso daw ng bayan, paano daw sila tinanong natin sila kung paano sila nagbabayad ng buwis. At ang number 1 na sagot ay over the counter or via the branches. Number 2 is through their employers, or 3 is online banking. Reactions from our guests?
I think for me, this is very understandable. No? It's very expected because for something that people consider as very important, such that, pag mali ka, may penalty ka, or pwede kang habulin, pwede ka idemanda, you want the assurance of it being done with a person, and then may stamp, and then may documents kang pinangahawakan. But I guess one thing I want to call out is, in Taxumo, we've helped a lot of people na meron sila nung stamp document, but the BIR is telling them na wala silang natanggap. No? That's very common, unfortunately, in the Philippines. One thing that people don't realize is if you actually pay and file through digital means, there is a trail na pwedeng sundan. Matitrace kung saan naputol yung process, kung hindi ba talaga na-send, madaling malaman, no? Madaling makita. That is something that cannot be provided by a bunch of people handing paper over. No? So I think that's one realization. I hope people start to understand and start to realize that actually digital is better, not just because it's easier, but because there's an audit trail that's created by all of those digital transactions.
Yeah. Rana, your reaction before we proceed to our Q&A?
I'm not surprised, mainly because kulang pa din yung online banking channels to actually receive BIR payments. So na-mention ko nga, actually si Union Bank, yung BIR PE payments is just started last year. So syempre meron pang adjustment period for clients to really shift to go to digital. And na-mention din kanina, ang nag-o-offer lang aside from Union Bank are DBP, Land Bank, GCash, and Paymaya. So sa dami ng bangko na available, hindi pa siya na nagiging, what do you call this? Parang hindi pa siya commonplace or BIR, bayad ka online. Kasi syempre pag BIR, pila. Medyo may adjustment period pa dyan eh. Though merong initiatives, hindi ko rin pala na-mention kanina, pwede ka na rin kasi magbayad ng e-payments through PesoNet. So ideally, kahit anong bangko, makakatanggap na through PesoNet, gagamitan lang nila yung Land Bank portal, tapos pipiliin nila na instead na paying through credit card or meron dong pay through PesoNet. So, kumbaga nagkakaroon pa lang ngayon ng mga new age ways of paying. Siguro hindi pa rin siya commonplace, hindi pa masyado na ma-market, and kulang pa rin yung information dissemination. So this talk actually helps explain or give insight to people na pwede pala, kasi baka yung ibang nakikinig hindi pa nila nalaman na pwede pala magbayad ng BIR online. So it's something that we continue to market and to communicate para mas kumalat siya sa mga ordinaryong Pilipino.
I see. And thank you for reacting to our survey poll. And for those who are just joining us this afternoon, so pinag-usapan po natin kung ano ba yung pinakamabisang paraan para magbayad ng inyong buwis. At inimbitahan natin ang ating mga kaibigan mula sa Taxumo at sa Union Bank. At ito yung kanila, and just to give a recap of the talking points earlier, we were able to establish on the value of why there was a need to pay our taxes. Ano yung benefit doon sa bayan natin at ano yung benefit ito para sa inyo bilang isang individual. Pinag-usapan din natin kung ano yung iba't ibang mga buwis na pinag-usapan na maaring bayaran at dapat bayaran at kung paano natin ito nasi-streamline gamit ng mga tools na pwede mong efficiently ma-avail. Gaya nila all you have to do is visit Taxumo's website and avail our online banking facility, which is Union Bank Online, which you have to download. And we lastly, during this new normal, mainam na maintindihan natin ng mga online processes nito para hindi na tayo mailang sa paggamit ito dahil nga ang pagiging mailang ay hindi na po uso ngayon yon. Dapat po na open-minded po tayo. Hindi lang po dahil nagkakape po kayo, open-minded kayo because you want to learn new things. And all right, so let's go now to our most awaited portion. Ito na, nagiinit na ang mga katanungan ngayong hapon. So, handa na ba kayo ating mga panauhin?
Kayang-kaya ni EJ yan.
Ay, parang choppy ka. Hindi, joke lang. Go, game.
Ito, tanong to para kay Rana. Gaano kabilis mag-reflect sa BIR ang binayarang buwis gamit ang ating facility?
Yeah. Actually, ang BIR, kapag nag-input ka ng payment, by next day, we already pay them. And by next day, they already have the report. So by next day, alam na nila na nagbayad ka. Ang kailangan na lang nilang gawin, ima-match nga nila dun sa e-filing naman na sinubmit mo. So actually, pwedeng mauna yung payment eh. Hindi naman siya kailangang e-filing ang mauna. So pwede rin namang, basta bayad ka na, tapos mag-aabang na lang sila ng filing. As soon as it gets matched, dun nila na, okay, company A, you're paid, you're good to go. Wala kang penalty ngayon.
I see. This one is for Ginger. For those merchants in the marketplace platforms, when someone sells their product, the logistics provider picks up the product together with the receipt and delivers it to the customer. When the merchant fails to include the receipt, is the online transaction email receipt sufficient to present?
I think it's better to ask an accountant with regard to this. Kasi we make sure though that we have original copies. I'm not sure if there are regulations now that the copies, digital copies will suffice. So yeah. So it's better to ask na lang your accountants who are well versed when it comes to this.
I see. This one's for EJ. Given that question, ano daw yung dapat nilang i-file if you are a marketplace owner to BIR?
A marketplace owner. What does that mean? I guess you're like a seller
e-commerce.
on e-commerce, yeah?
E-commerce.
Sige, pag ganyan, two main tax types you have to file. No? First is income tax. Again, that is not just every April 15. Birthday ng daddy ko yun also. Kaya alam ko. So aside from, hindi lang siya April 15, it's also quarterly. And also you have to pay your business taxes. If you're earning 3 million and above, that's VAT. Okay? That's monthly that you have to file. If you are not, then you have the option to do non-VAT, which is the percentage tax. So that's 3% of your gross. That's the most basic na pinaka nakikita namin. Aside from that, of course, depende kung ano yung inassign sa inyo ng RDO officer of the day when you got registered, you may be the lucky payer of other tax types as well, such as withholding tax, and withholding tax on compensation, etc., and all those other fun tax types. So again, that differs depending on what you pay differs depending on like kung ano yung assigned dun sa certificate of registration mo sa BIR. All right? But one thing is sure, hindi lang yan once a year.
Take note, guys. Daan. For our next question, this one is for Rana. For companies, can the individual use his or her own Union Bank account to pay online? Or should the accountant download the Union Bank online account of the company and use it to pay online? Use it to pay BIR transaction. Thanks.
Sa atin, so I guess yung question is, I'm a corporation, I have a Union Bank account na personal. Pwede ko bang gamitin yon? The straight answer is pwede. BI actually allows that. In the same way na pagpupunta ka naman over the counter, hindi naman nila hahanapin kung anong account ba pinangbabayaran mo. Ang importante sa BIR, nagbabayad ka na buwis.
Okay, may follow-up question dito, and this can be answered in support with either EJ or Ginger. If we pay online, how do we get a receipt from Union Bank's end that we are already recognized by BAR? We tried with other online platforms. After payment, we don't receive proper confirmation of what we paid.
Okay, I'll answer this, no. So, in Taxumo kasi, you'll receive two kinds of confirmation. So, we'll discuss yung payment later. So, you'll have the BIR confirmation as well through the system. So, it's saved in your past filings. Meron kasing past filings section sa Taxumo. So, you just go to that tab and you'll see your past filings. Aside from the BIR confirmation, you will have a payment confirmation with a reference number from Union Bank. So that will suffice, no? If ever naman we have this partnership, so don't worry if you have questions kung talagang nabayaran talaga yan. And we will kung may questions kayo, no, kami na bahala to talk to Union Bank as well. So nandun, meron kaming payment confirmation. Yan, to answer his question.
I see.
And to add na rin mo, sa Union Bank, you'll have a transaction reference number. So you can make use of that kapag tinatanong, paano ka nagbayad? Kasi yung transaction reference number na yun, binibigay din naman natin kay BIR para alam nila kung ano yung pang-reconcile dun sa payment mo.
At pwede mo naman to screenshot, di ba? To prove that you already paid and submit your document.
Yeah. And normally may email receipt then of that transaction.
Yeah, so that's the same, no? Yung binanggit ni Rana. In Taxumo, that's the same reference number that we show our users.
I see. This next question is for EJ and Ginger. Do you have discount rates for MSMEs? Do you assign an account manager for individual account? For our questions regarding Taxumo, how can we assure our transaction is confidential? So tatlong tanong yung isa-isa. Unahin ko muna, meron ba kayong discount na ino-offer para sa mga MSMEs?
Depende. Kung 11-11, ganun, may discount naman. Meron naman, no? But, I think we are actually priced very competitively versus like current options, no? Like, let's say if you get a service provider to do it for you, you'll probably get charged 2,500 to, let's say, 5,000 a month, no? Ang rates namin, ang cheapest namin is currently at 888 pesos a month. So, so up to you na ngayon, like, does it make sense? I mean, from your point of view, does that warrant, is that amount worth your time? No? Or would you rather spend your time doing your taxes? But, we do have discounts. We also offer discounts for people who are particularly affected by COVID. The Lifeline product that I said a while ago is just 2,400 for the whole year, no? And automatic na magpa-file yan for you. So we were able to bring it down at a very low price. But aside from that, if you were really affected by COVID, by the quarantine, just talk to one of our customer service representatives. Malalambot ang puso ng mga yon. They will most likely also give you some sort of discount if you ask for it, no? But I think what I want to maybe help people realize as well is that Taxumo, there is a mission behind what we do, and that mission is helping SMEs and sort of like fixing how government works in this country. And if you are enrolled in that vision, if you want to help us with that vision, then actually that's where your money goes, to helping us create that new Philippines that we all want to have.
I see. And the follow-up to that is, do you assign account managers for individual accounts?
Ayan. So Taxumo, how it works is it's a software as a service. Okay? It's a tool that you use to file your taxes. Okay? So you don't have a specific account manager. What you do have is you have customer service representatives who can answer any question you may have as effectively as if you had a specific account manager assigned to you.
And the last, as part of that question, for our questions regarding Taxumo, how can we assure our transaction is confidential?
All right. So privacy, no? So number one, we are registered with NPC, the National Privacy Commission. So we follow all of the rules and regulations of the NPC. Aside from that, we follow all of the best practices in terms of security. Like for example, just to name a very small part of the, kasi I can't share everything kasi ang mangyayari, mahahack nyo na kami. Pero basically, the data is, for example, it's encrypted in transit, it's encrypted at rest, etc., such that even our staff, they don't have access to your data. Only very few people have complete access, mainly because they're the developers. So they would, by default, have like admin access. But otherwise, everything is encrypted. It takes a lot of effort to actually read that data. So from a privacy point of view, that's that. And also from a privacy point of view, the policy that we follow is that you own your data. What that means is that if at any time you say, "Oy, burahin nyo na yung account ko," we will delete your account. And it's up to you. It's your data. If your subscription actually expires after a month, we will also actually start, cleaning up the files and deleting your data. So ganun siya, no? So we're very, very conscious about privacy and making sure that your data is secure.
And two things, safe sila personally and also their information is safe.
That's true. Yes.
And that wraps up our Q&A section. Alam ko marami pa po kayong mga katanungan. So as much as gusto namin po magstay ng ilang oras pa po dito on air, pero if you have questions, all you have to do is type in sa comment section and we'll answer them accordingly. So I guess to wrap up this conversation, I guess I'd like to ask for your final messages. I'll start, of course, with EJ and Ginger. Then we'll wrap it up with Rana. EJ?
Ayan, all right. Thank you, Mo. So again, thank you so much, Mo. Thank you so much, UnionBank. Thank you so much, Rana, for having us, for allowing us to share what we're trying to do. And I keep talking about mission, I keep talking about the change we want to do, because really we are very much driven by that, and it's great that we are actually working with UnionBank, because honestly, guys, this is super small, pero I think this speaks of like, that they're walking the talk, Kasi for example, when everyone was still unsure whether InstaPay will be free until December, sa UnionBank, yung unang nag-announce, sabi nila, free na, sige, bahala na, free na sa amin. So that for me was like, it was so small, Pero for me, it was an indication na, this is a bank that's really like, that has the best interest of their customers in mind. So that's why, it's very easy for us to really transact with UnionBank and initiatives like this that are not only designed to sell, but also to help people understand the value of transformation, the open new topics, etc. So it's an honor that you had us here, and I'd like to thank you so much for having us, and of course, thank you to everyone who watched as well.
Of course, it's always our pleasure, and consider UnionBank as your second home and your family, especially in these trying times. Ginger?
Yes, yeah, thank you so much, UnionBank, for inviting us, and thank you to all of our viewers. I think one last thing that I want to add is really going digital is such a great equalizer. And the only difference really between like successful business owners or successful professionals and those who are not successful is what we do with our time. Time is very important. Yun yung greatest asset nga natin, diba? So what we do with our time matters. And with doing things digitally, it saves us a lot of time. So we can really focus on what's essential to growing our business, to sustaining our business at this point in time. So maybe this is the time to really reconsider and look at your processes and see what really matters to you as a business owner.
And of course, Ginger naman, alam mo naman na we're always be here with you every step of the way. I know 7 years is maybe a long time for others, but actually it's a short time for all the learnings that we have both tackled together. And with you and EJ, of course, handa tayong tumulong sa ating mga kababayan na gustong tumahak sa landas ng digitization. Maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa.
Thank you.
Rana?
Yeah, siguro just another message to the viewers related to going digital. I guess now is the time, because of this pandemic, because of the need to social distance, para kailangan mag-ingat. Now is really the time to try doing online banking. So I guess yung paya ko lang is huwag kayong matakot. Kasi may notion minsan na pag magta-transact online, baka ma-hack yung account ko, baka makuha yung account ko or something, But to be honest, maraming benefits and convenience ang mabibigay ng pagiging going digital. So I guess siguro kailangan din natin mag-instill na we need to be alert. Kailangan alam natin na, wag ka mag-share ng password or personal details kahit kanino. Kasi syempre gusto rin natin proteksyohan yung mga accounts nga natin and yung online access natin. But kumbaga, that shouldn't hinder us from trying it out. Kasi may safety measures naman eh. Yun nga, merong one-time password yung mga apps ngayon. Required na yun by law na kapag nag-login ka, hindi lang password. Pagka-enter mo ng password mo, may one-time PIN dapat. Meron ka ding mga SMS notifications kapag meron kang transactions or pag meron kang ginawa sa account or in-access mo yung account. So may ways to trigger pag meron mang possible hacking, I guess. So, kumbaga, I know it's easier to say than actually to practice, no? Pero don't be afraid, try it out. Yun nga, pwedeng pa isa-isa muna, check lang natin kung pag confident ka na, baka pwedeng gawing regular na, monthly na, hanggang daily na, until it becomes part of your everyday life. So, yeah, that's it from me.
Ika nga, be brave and be bold. So, and thank you to also to our partners, to your team who has worked tirelessly to make sure that these innovations are enjoyed not only by our partners who are here in this session, but also our customers out there who are watching us this afternoon. So maraming salamat, Rana. And maraming salamat sa ating mga kaibigan mula sa Taxumo. At paalala lamang, again, sa tatlong yung categories kanina, if you need help for your filing needs, all you have to do is visit www.taxumo.com. They have their chat button there, and you can ask questions for free. And of course, if you need to pay your taxes already, all you have to do is simply download UnionBank online app, which is available in iOS if you're using Apple, and Google Play Store if you're Android. Also, for corporates or for business owners, you can download SME Business Banking app that's also available in iOS and Google Play Store. So maraming salamat sa ating mga panahon at naway maging successful po kayo, lalo na po sa ating panahon po na ating tinatahak ngayon. At maraming salamat sa ating mga nanood pa hanggang ngayon po at sa pagsubaybay sa ating programa. Naway nakatulong po kami sa inyo at nakadagdag sa inyong kaalaman ang naging usapan ngayong hapon na to. Ako po muli si Mo Soriano na nagsasabi na sa bawat pagsubok na hinaharap, tandaan na maging handa na harapin natin ito. Makikita po tayo muli sa susunod na buwan sa unang Miyerkules ng Disyembre at subaybayan muli at matuto ang mula sa UnionBank Talks Digital. Ingat!